Hello everyone. This is Ash and Mora, just coming back for another video. Um, Not going to do any gameplay at the moment because, yeah, I have. If you've seen my previous videos, I was pretty close to the end, and I've just finished it just this morning, and I just thought I'd make a video just talking about my thoughts on it and what I thought about the story, the game mechanics, and also how I compare it to other installments of the Final Fantasy franchise. Although, just to clarify, I've only really played from Final Fantasy VII onwards, so I apologise if it's not a full synopsis on Final Fantasies you might hope it to be, but it is. But you know, Final Fantasy VII came out in like 1997. So you know, I've been following the franchise for a long time, at least since I was 12. And so yeah, it's been a long journey. I've loved the series, obviously because I've been following it for so long, and yeah, but you know, I don't know why I like it so much. I just do. I've always enjoyed the story, but Final Fantasy 16, where would I rank it as far as, you know, if I had to give it like a rating system or something, or compare it to the other installments? It was good. It was good. It was really good. I had a great time with it. It's probably not the best in the series, I would say, but like I definitely had a good time with it though. It was like the battle mechanics, like the boss fights are just unreal. Like you saw my previous videos, and yeah, like they're just out of this world, like pun intended. But yeah, they're just insane. Like, you know, you fly out into space and you fight Bahamut as Ifrit, just throwing fireballs at each other, and nukes and A-bombs and just like lasers going off everywhere, and just, yeah, it's just pandemonium, but it's just so epic and awesome. It's just, yeah, it's a lot of fun. Having said that though, there are times when it can feel, I feel like the battle system could be a little bit more dynamic as well. Like, I feel like it's just, after a while, even though how it works is that eventually Clive will accumulate all these icon abilities, and icons are these different godly, like magical beasts that some people who are known as dominants can turn into, and they can classic staples of the Final Fantasy series, basically Ifrit, Bahamut, Shiva, but instead of just in other previous games where you would summon these creatures, you would instead turn into these creatures, or for the most part sort of like just embodied the powers that these godlike creatures possess. And so, but the issue I have with it is that you can only have a maximum of 3 different icons equipped to Clive at any given time. So you have to sort of like, which kind of like, it was a bit disappointing because like you've got like, by the time you've got like all these icons together, you've like, for me it was like, well, like I've been so used to the setup that I have now that why would I bother changing it? And so there's really not a whole lot of incentive to try the other icons' abilities or anything like that. I mean, you know, well, other than just curiosity, I guess, see what they're like or whatever. So there's a bit of fun in that, but it's more, like I didn't change from the icons that I was using once throughout the whole game, at least on normal difficulty anyway, where I was only using Phoenix, Garuda, and Ramu as my main icons that got me through to the end. And but even though like eventually you get Shivas, you get Odins, you get Bahamuts, Titans, like I never once used any of those just because I had no real need for it. And also how the leveling process works as well is that you spend ability points. I think they call it ability points, but you accumulate this sort of currency that you use to enhance your icon's abilities. But honestly, since you're only really using 3 at any given time, and there's, like I said again, there's no real reason to use any of the other icons' abilities, by the time you've maxed out, like, the icons that you're using, like, unlocked all their abilities or upgraded them to their max amount, then by the time that you've finished the game, like, there's no real reason to allocate any, like, build on any other icons' abilities, I guess, because, well, why would you, since you're not using them. But it does, having said that though, like I haven't played it yet. As you can see on the title screen, there's a new game plus feature that it does allow you to play on a harder difficulty, and I have heard it is quite challenging. I might do a let's play commentary of another playthrough of this from the beginning this time, because obviously, people might want to see it from the beginning, maybe, if you still want to, if you want to join me for that. Let me know in the comments if that's the case. But how would I compare it to like other installments? Well, I suppose that's a difficult question, because like for me, like Final Fantasy, the reason I like it so much, like the series or the franchise, is because there's a lot of debate as to what people consider to be the best Final Fantasy, but I don't think there's really such a thing as the best. It's only really as good as it is to the person playing it. Like, it really is one of those, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Because, for example, like Final Fantasy X, or Final Fantasy X as it's commonly referred to, is probably one of my favorite games of all time. Not necessarily because of the mechanics or the story or the characters or anything like that, but just because for me, me personally, it just has a lot of themes and undertones that is just so relatable to me. Like, it just really hit home. It was the only game that I've actually cried to when I first played it, when I was like, very young, like just a teenager in high school, and I played it for the first time. Like, I won't spoil it just in case, anyone else out there wants to give it a crack, but I know as well, like, that's only me. Like, that's only, like, the reason it's my favorite is because of the fact that it just has a lot of stuff that are personal for me. But also as well, like, well, the mechanics themselves are pretty fun. Like, it is turn-based, but in a very fun way. Not that I have anything against turn-based, but well, this is a turn-based game and it's good. Well, at least I think it is, and the characters are pretty decent. I can admit though that the main character, Tidus, is a bit whiny at times. Like, he can be a bit irritating, but okay. Like, I just like how the fact that it kind of. Okay, well, spoilers. It's just a spoiler alert, I guess, but it's just I just like the fact that, like, the whole premise of the like, basically what it's about is Tidus is just living in this city called Zanikin. He's just he's pretty famous there. He's well known as a blitzball player. That's really popular in this world, this fictional world, and and anyway, like he's playing a game of blitzball, and then all of a sudden, the town that he's in gets attacked by this huge monster called Sin that just destroys everything. And but then somehow, after all that happens, Titus just wakes up in this foreign world, 1,000 years into the future, and just like, so he's living in a world that he has no idea about, people that he's never met before, just like a completely different culture, different government systems that he has no idea about, and he's just told, yep, here's a weapon, see that girl over there, she's a summoner, and you just have to protect her while she goes on a journey across the world to get to the end and die, or and save the world. Yeah, anyway, like, sorry for spoilers or anything, but yeah, it's just, but the reason I like that is because he, I like the fact that it's just like, yeah, he's just an athlete. It's not like he's a trained soldier, or he's, particularly special in any way. He's just a dude that was said, yep, here's a weapon and go save the world. Have fun with that. And I kind of like that. I don't know why. Like, I just feel like that does make his character pretty... Oh, it does make you relatable. Like, you feel like, because he's... Yeah, like, you feel like you're just as lost and confused as he is in that instant. Like, in that respect, because... But, yeah, anyway. That's... yeah, in case you aren't aware, that's probably... Yeah. That's probably my favourite in the series. But compared to Final Fantasy XVI, yeah, it didn't really... yeah, it didn't really feel... like, at least game mechanic wise, as satisfying as, say, the Final Fantasy VII remake that's, well, the first two that's been out for a few years now, that's supposed to be a trilogy. Like, as far as non-turn-based games go, I would say that it is better, as far as, just because I really like the fact that whenever you, in Final Fantasy VII Remake, whenever you want to do an ability or cast a spell or do a limit break or anything like that, sorry, just a bit sick. What happens is, like, you press X, go into this menu screen, and the whole screen will just freeze while you're in mid-battle. And time is still moving, but it's moving it's basically Matrix effect. I don't know what you call it, but time moves very slowly, and so you have about 5 minutes to pick and choose what ability or spell or item you want to use. And so, even though, yeah, it does have some Devil May Cry elements to it, it feels like a turn-based. It's like they really took the best of both styles of gameplay and just made something awesome. But compare that to Final Fantasy 16, like, yeah, I feel like this is leaning a bit too heavily in the Devil May Cry stuff. Which, don't get me wrong, like, it's still fun. Like, it's still a lot of, jumping around and casting spells and stuff like that. But I feel like there's a lot of wasted potential. I feel like even if you're, like, for example, like I said before, because, like, you're not really using all these other icons that you have, I still wish they would affect the outcome of the gameplay, even if they're not equipped. Like, they gave you, like, better stats or something like that, or just, yeah, like, just small things like that, like, would have, like, made the game a lot more tighter. And I feel like if Square Enix decide to continue down this like, style of gameplay, that they really stick to at least something similar to what they did with Final Fantasy VII Remake, because that, to me anyway, like, Me personally, like that was just peak gameplay right there. Yeah, but you know, it's definitely probably, I don't know, to rate Final Fantasy 16, I'd say give it a solid 7 out of 10. So yeah, not terrible, but could have been better. Could have been better. But anyway, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and yeah, just I'll see you in the next one. Bye.